We got to ask you 50 questions today to make up for it.
Okay.
But
Let's do it.
all right. Okay, 1 week today you play the Aggies. How are things sitting?
Pretty good. You know, we went through a Friday routine today, and it's a little more than we used to do on a Friday. We changed the game week preparation just a little bit, and I thought they handled it well. And then tomorrow we'll start with the Monday routine and go from there.
And is everything where you want to be at this point?
I think, relatively speaking, yeah, we still got a lot of details that we got to fine tune and put some finishing touches on the game plans, but pretty good to this point.
Are you still trying to figure out that depth chart at corner?
Yeah, it's looking, you know, if we had to play today, it's looking like McGill and Orfeh and Justin Thomas would come in the nickel situation. But again, we have, 4 or 5 more practices to completely solidify that.
McGill lost that weight you were looking for?
Most of it. Still got a few pounds to go, but he's moving much better, and he shed probably 75% of what we needed him to lose.
Is this whole indecision at cornerback because you guys have such good depth right now, or is it because you're not satisfied with the talent that you have there?
I think that it mainly is because we had some guys with downtime that weren't out there, and they're just coming back, and still trying to get, without having any game experience. You know, all we have to go on is practice, and a lot of those guys missed a bunch of practice, and so that has been the thing that set it back more than anything else, is the lack of them being on the field to get a true evaluation.
But you're satisfied with the safety play you've received?
You know, Eric Rose, a proven commodity of safety. I mean, the guy playing opposite him has switched a couple times now. It looks like it's going to be Michael Walker. And so, we'll tell you Thursday night after the game how the safety play was. But I know that Eric has played really good football for us in the past. Whoever's playing opposite him will be a rookie.
How about Michael Walker? Talk about him a little bit and what you've seen from him.
Yeah, he's had a good fall camp, and really, due to his consistency and his work ethic, he just kept working hard and just kept moving up the depth chart one rung at a time, and never got discouraged, never got frustrated, and worked himself all the way to the top.
What were some of the surprises, positives that came out of camp?
Positives. I would say the running back situation. You know, we feel like we got 4 guys that are all going to contribute, and really they've done a nice job. Defensive front. You know, even though we lost Stevie, that was a big blow. But the front is a big positive for us. Wasn't a surprise, but a big positive. Surprises, probably Davion Orfeh and the way he's elevated his level of play from spring ball and to fall camp. Kenneth Scott and Drez Anderson, not surprised, but they've really separated themselves from the rest of the pack. It gets more separated every day.
Dennis Erickson said yesterday he'd be disappointed if you didn't score 30 points against Utah State. Utah State said they heard of that comment and they're aware of it. Do you like that comment? Are you confident that
I like
you can
scoring
do this?
points. I like scoring points, and we have to score points. Had we scored 30 last year, we would have won. And so I think that's, in this day and age of football, and particularly in the Pac-12, if you don't have an offense that can put up 30 plus every week, you don't have a very big chance of winning. And so I think that's just a weekly deal. I don't think there's any week that we don't hope to score 30 or more, because I think the average now is like 27, something like that in the nation. That's about par for scoring offense, and so you got to score. You know, the days of winning games 13-10, that doesn't happen very often.
Do you feel that your offense has improved enough to score 30?
We hope so. It looks like it in practice and in the scrimmages, but you never get the true test until game time, so we'll find out.
What's the biggest thing you want to see your team improve on in the next week?
Continue to clean up the execution in the throw game. Even though it's come a long ways, it's still not where it needs to be. And the corners to completely sort themselves out and solidify the depth chart there.
Talk about Trevor Riley a little bit. How is he going to be used? I mean, we heard a little bit that he's going to be more playing defensive end this year. Is he still going to see time at the outside linebacker spot?
He'll be a 50-50 guy, yeah. And depending on the week, certain weeks he'll play more linebacker and certain weeks he'll play more end. But my guess is by the end of the year it'll be a pretty even split.
Is that just because of how talented he is, or are you lacking depth at outside linebacker?
Because of how talented he is, we want to put him in the place as per the opponent that he will have the most impact, biggest impact.
Is that just like a hybrid position, basically, where you just are able to move his X around a little bit?
Well, he's not a hybrid position, but he's a hybrid guy that can play. You know, the positions he'll play are either true linebacker or true defensive end. But he's a guy that, and he could probably play 4 or 5 other spots. I mean, the guy is really talented. He can play tight end. He's so versatile, and so we're going to try to maximize that.
threw the ball out of the house
Can
the
throw
other
the
day.
ball out of the stadium, probably play quarterback. Yeah. He's got a lot of ability. And he says he can hit a golf ball 400 yards, but I call him bull.
Maybe
He
that's
says it
some-
with a straight face, too.
maybe that's something we ought to take up to the baseball
Yeah, we'll
field.
find that out in the offseason. Yeah.
You've talked about Chucky Keaton and how important he is to the Aggies. What makes him so dynamic?
His athleticism, his intelligence. He beat us last year. The play of the game was the third and long, whatever, it's 12 or 14 yards. He scrambles and gets out of the pocket and makes the first down. I think it was in overtime, and they end up scoring on that drive, and that was the difference. And so, he's the whole package. He can throw the ball. He was like, 20 or 30 up against us or something like that, and about close to 100 yards rushing. And so it's just everything he brings to the table that you have to try to defend. He runs the option well. The Q run game, the pure Q run game. It's not just the scramble. They have designed quarterback runs that he does a great job with. So it's across the board. There's nothing you can single out, and that's what makes him so hard to defend. Is you got to defend it all.
Do you feel like you have the core of a good game plan for him since they only scored 13 points on
No.
offense in 60 minutes?
Do I feel we have a good game plan?
The core of one from last year because you only gave it 13 points in 60
Oh, I
minutes.
see what you're saying. Yeah, we played pretty good on defense last year. I thought not great, but good enough to win the game. And as I said earlier in the week, offensively we couldn't generate anything, and so but still, Chucky was the guy at the very end that did the damage.
What'd you think of that last question? Was it smart or not?
Well, you guys ought to form a team.
What is your enduring memory of that game? Is it that last play?
Yeah,
or is
last play, getting the punt blocked early, which was a big momentum shifter. Turning the back loose on the wheel route there in the whatever end zone it is. It's the end zone closest to our locker room. North and south baffles me in Logan. But there was 3 or 4 things that stood out, and missing the field goal obviously in overtime that would have, in regulation that would have won it, and sent us in overtime by missing it. But and there hasn't been a day gone by in the off season I haven't thought about that game. Of course, I've thought about practically every game every day, but it was tough. It was a good win by them and a tough loss for us.
When Mr. Eccles joked about the long ride home, did you laugh or nod in
I
agreement?
laughed till I cried. Yeah, exactly.
Talk a bit about Jared Norris, how he's done in camp. He's listed as a starter right now, how he's progressed.
Jared is a good football player. He played a lot of snaps for us last year, not as many as I'm sure he would have liked, but as a freshman, he got in the mix. He's worked. Nobody's worked any harder than Jared in the offseason, and he has made himself into an outstanding linebacker. And he's really, if you had to put a label on the inside linebacker that's had the best fall camp, it would be Jared Norris.